Do you know where all the electricity you use in the US comes from? The answer is that 90% of electricity comes from conventional generation facilities and only 10% from renewable energy generation facilities. We want people to use more renewable energy to be pro-environmental, and we have known that people's choices can create demand and support for renewable energy. But the question is, how can we influence people's decisions? Some might try to send persuasive messages to influence people's choices, like persuading people to buy more solar panels. But is it likely to achieve little? However, what if we use psychological principles to guide people covertly? Our behavior is like a river, which is more likely to do what we are already doing, rather than switch. We can change the flow of rivers through human intervention, such as building dams. We can also change people's behavior through psychological intervention. In many countries or regions, people can choose to use either traditional or clean energy. However, due to technological constraints, conventional energy is usually cheaper than clean energy, and conventional energy is the default option. In other words, people use conventional energy when they don't make choices. And that's why clean energy takes so much lower proportion than conventional energy in our energy usage. In 2021, Liebe and colleagues published an experiment. They intended to induce people to engage in pro-environmental behaviors through a default effect, specifically by increasing the proportion of green energy used. Besides, they wanted to know whether businesses would respond the same way as households, because businesses are more price sensitive. If renewable energy costs more, businesses would be likely to switch to conventional energy for lower costs. Their experiment worked with a Swiss electricity supplier for 3 years. The electricity supplier gave customers the option of either clean or conventional energy. In the first year, they simply recorded the data on electricity use in households and companies and found that 97% ended up with conventional energy. To test whether it was because conventional energy was the default choice, they changed the default energy to clean energy the following year. But users could still switch back to conventional energy. In the latter 2 years of records, the researchers found a reversal in the proportion of electricity used. The majority of people used clean energy, which represents that they kept the status quo and didn't purposely switch back to using traditional energy sources. 15% of participants chose to switch to conventional energy, while 85% kept the default that was given to them.